Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back in the video day, and today we're going to be talking about the Houston Astros potentially signing Ryan Pressly. It's been reported by Bob Nightingale that the Astros are weighing the possibility of potentially signing Ryan Pressly. I know there are a lot of people that are saying no to this, but one of the only reasons I wouldn't mind this is just because of what I've seen with Hector Neris so far. For two reasons. I look at a guy like Hector Neris, who's absolutely pitching horrible this year. This year with LA and Atlanta, had a 5.14 ERA with Atlanta over 21 games, and 2 games with LA was 5.14 ERA. The Atlanta, in 2 games, he gave up 5 earned runs in 1 inning of work. And then, so even though he had a 9 ERA he came here with, still comes to Houston. It's like a total switch. 2.25 ERA, 8 games. He's pitched 8 innings for the Astros, only given up 2 earned runs, 5 walks. So walks have been kind of a problem for him, but 10 strikeouts. Nearest is at a 2.25 ERA again, back to where you'd want him to be. And, then I, just look at, you can see how good of a pitching staff this team has. Look at Yusei Kikuchi last year with the way he was struggling in Toronto. The Astros trade for him, work with him a little bit, try to, find some pitches for him that, might make him more a successful pitcher. And he turns into a monster for this Astros rotation. So that's one reason I'll say I wouldn't mind Ryan Pressly coming in and returning. But another thing is, there's a couple guys in this bullpen right now. This is a really good bullpen, but I think I would say there are a couple guys right now that Ryan Pressly would be a better option for the Astros than a couple guys. I would say Ryan Pressly would be a better option than Nick Hernandez, who did have a pretty much clean inning today, gave it 1 hit but no other damage, but has a 7.71 ERA with the Astros this year. I think Pressly would be a better option than Luis Contreras, and I think Pressly would also be a better option than Caleb Bort. Caleb Bort is solid. He's got a 4.91 ERA on the season, but I think Pressly is a better option than those 3 guys I just mentioned that are in the bullpen for the Astros. Pressly, as he struggled this year, 100%. He's got a 4.35 ERA with the Cubs. He has struggled. But knowing the Astros, look at what Hector Neris has, kind of turned his season around compared to what he was doing with Atlanta and LA. Look at Yusei last year. I would, with Pressly coming to Houston, I'd have the expectations that his ERA would be a little bit better than 4.35 and when it was in Chicago compared, if he compared to coming back to Houston. I would think his ERA would be in the high 3s and around the 3.7 to 3.9 range, at the worst 4.1, something like that. I think Pressly would be a lot better of an option for the Astros being comfortable here compared to with Chicago. And I think having Pressly, if he's going to have a 3.7, 3.9 ERA here, is better than Nick Hernandez or Caleb Bort or Luis Contreras, in my opinion. I'd much rather have Pressly come in the 7th inning for the Astros or as an early option. Pressly, the days of him being the setup man for Hader or the closer, those days are over, right? Those days are over. Josh Hader last year took over as the 9th inning guy. The Astros moved Pressly as the 8th. I think Brandon Brady has been too good as the 8th inning guy this year. I think Pressly comes in. I don't think you put him in winning situations. I think Ryan Pressly can be in the guy that you go to in the 7th or 8th inning if you're losing, or Pressly could be the guy to go to in the 9th inning if Josh Hader is in need of rest. If Josh Hader, let's just say in the world of the Astros have won 3 games in a row, and those are all close games, and Josh Hader has pitched 3 games in a row, and the Astros don't want to use him a 4th game in a row, and they're in a closing opportunity. Let's just say maybe in this world, Brandon Brady has also pitched 3 games in a row. They could use Ryan Pressly as the 9th inning closer in the world that you don't want to use Hader 4 games in a row. So I think he could be a guy that can be the second option as a closer outside of Hader, and then be a guy that pitches to the seventh or eighth inning or ninth inning in that range for the Astros if they're in a losing situation. I don't think Presley would be a guy to pitch for the Astros in winning situations. Like you always see Caleb Ort pitch if they're losing. There are certain guys that come in losing situations for the Astros, like Steven Okert and Caleb Ort, Nick Hernandez, and Luis Contreras are some of the guys you see right now that come in out of the bullpen in losing situations, and then the guys that come out in winning situations out of the bullpen are Bennett Sousa, Brian King, Brian Abreu, Josh Hader. Ryan Presley would just replace one of those guys that I mentioned of the losing situation pitchers. So I don't think Ryan Presley would pitch in a lot of winning situations, but he is someone the Astros could use if down in a game, or as a backup option as a closer. But he has a lot of history with this team, and I think he could do better with the Astros than he has done with the Cubs this year, is what I'm saying, with what I've seen with Hector Neris this season. And then not only what I've seen with Hector Neris this season, but also what we saw with Yusei last year. Let me know your thoughts on the Astros. The Astros game. Sorry, not the Astros game. This potential signing for the Astros in the comment section, and peace out, go Astros.